Hello, legends and super legends. This is Eldred here. Welcome to
Well,
Veloharmony.
good afternoon,
This is the
everyone. We are
Volta
here
a
at Catalunya for
Catalunya
the
Stage
stage
3.
finish of stage 3
This is the
of the
first
Volta Catalunya
excursion
stage of
into the hills
188.3
by the
kilometers.
favorites.
And we should see the first big fireworks of the Grand Tour contenders as they try to win this year's race. Well, what a night it's been.
So yeah, this is a recap from the stage 2 where Movistar won the time trial, but they were penalized in this stage, and so the win was taken away. And so the BMC, which was the second, within 2 seconds was given the win, and Movistar was penalized. I think right here, because this guy did that. They penalized each member of the team at least a minute. So they basically lost the win that they had yesterday under the team chart. So as a result, BMC, you can see all the BMC riders in the overall time because BMC basically was given the win. So Ben Hermans is in the leader's jersey, and TJ is in third, and Brent Walter is in second. And Rohan Deniz is fourth. So BMC pretty much owns the classification. You got Samuel Sanchez, Alessandro De Marchi, all the BMC guys, because they were the fastest team because of that penalty. So today's ride goes into the hills from Mataro to La Molina into the Alps.
After racing through Alps to the top of the climb.
There's a lot of weather. I mean, there's a lot of snow and stuff. So this stage wasn't shortened, but it interferes with the race later on in the other stages to come. So Team Sky is pretty much controlling the race.
Bahan is the leader. Here he is, riding for Dimension Data for Quebecer.
Dimension Data has a rider up front. There's 10 kilometers to go. Sky is not that concerned about him because in the GC he really is not a factor.
So it's a peloton of maybe about 25 riders on the back of.
There's a group behind him with about 25 riders. Sky's leading, just setting the tempo. This is Chris Froome's first World Tour race since last year, because he's doing a slow build-up like he did before. So I don't think he's at his best form. Of course, you don't want to be at his best form until July. So it's a slow build-up to it. Last year, Quintana won this race, but he is not participating because he's trying to do the Giro d'Italia and the Tour de France this year, which is tough to do.
So it's Thomas just in front here of Chris Froome. Don't see Mikel Landa. Valverde sitting with his troops.
Alejandro Valverde is in second position behind his teammate there in the middle of that pack.
There's Chris Froome, there's Geraint Thomas. Thomas sitting right on the front of the saddle.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that. That's not very comfortable. I've never been able to sit on the tip of the saddle for any extended period of time. But I guess everybody's different. Like Geraint Thomas sitting on the tip. I've seen Contador do that as well. I see Froome do that. I'm sure they've got a reason why they do that. I don't move when I'm riding. I sit in the same spot.
Stage winner in the Vuelta a España, stage winner in the Dauphiné.
Just from watching these guys, their cadence is probably around the mid to upper 80s to about 90, and they're climbing. There's 9 kilometers to go. And you know, Froome spins a lot. The harder it gets, the more he spins.
Well, looks like Bahan is going to be caught purely by the.
They're catching the lone leader up there.
Trek Segafredo are just teeing something up here. And it looks like we're going to get our first.
Now, usually when you come in to catch somebody, there's a good time for somebody else to attack, and that's exactly what's happening there. Because there's a respite. Everybody starts to think they're going to rest. And now Trek has moved to the front. That looks like Pantano setting the pace for Contador. Pantano and Contador are good friends.
Alberto Contador is there. Look at the face of
That's Pantano. He was the same guy that helped Contador. It's Paris-Nice. Paris-Nice.
Absolutely on his limit right now. Around the next bend is Pantano, followed by Contador. Followed him is Geraint Thomas, and then is
So Pantano is stretching the pace a little bit here.
Is Molina. Behind him is Valverde. Behind them is Chris Froome.
And Contador is in his favorite position, standing. He's sitting on the tip of the saddle there. You can see the boards at the back being stretched. You see those gaps? And you know it's hard when the line is straight. There's no bunching up going on. Chris Froome has an ungainly posture on the bike. That's just the way he looks, like a praying mantis. He hasn't done much racing this year, so this is it's gonna stretch him a little bit, but you know, it's all part of his program. It's planned. It's not accidental. And Pantano's been sitting up there for a while, so he's strong. It's a lot easier not being in the lead. So by having a teammate that can set the pace, you can react if people do other things, especially early on the climbs. That's the main benefit of having a good team or a teammate. So right now, Contador has this one guy left from the rest of the Trek team that's there with him.
Got that new bike, which commemorates his various victories in his career. Hardly any riders left now in this group.
This is the creme de la creme that's left right now. Pantano's giving everything he's got.
Some fans just urging on Alberto Contador. Roman Bardet looks to be climbing well despite missing the entire Paris-Nice, where his climbing skills would have been tested quite considerably. So much pressure on the shoulders of Roman Bardet, but he seems to deal with it better than the other French riders who've been touted as Tour de France winners. His way of dealing with it is by have a very level head when it comes to dealing with bike racing being the be-all and end-all. To him, it's his career and his job, and he loves it. But when he goes out of work, he doesn't really talk about work that much.
Pantano's been up there for a while, pretty much giving his all here. That's tough to do. You have to be able to regulate your effort very well when you're climbing. One thing about hills, if you're not going well, it shows up quickly. You can't hide.
Just wait until we got the camera a bit more focused.
Looks like Valverde is right behind Chris Froome there. That's Atapuma going up there.
Froome just keeping an eye on what's going on. Atapuma decides that he's got the speed to go to
He's a pretty good climber.
One of his countrymen,
I think he's from Colombia.
On the front, so we're going to end up
He rode really well in last year's Tour de France.
There's a lot of Cannondale jerseys still in here. If you'd like to tweet and give me a prediction on the stage, @AntMcCrossan is where you can join me. Lionel Zakarin is also here. Adam Yates is here for the Orica Scott team. That's Lewis Menkes on the back of the group. Hugh Carthy seems to have recovered a little bit. Robert Hessink is here. A few other riders struggling towards the back, but Hugh Carthy, having looked like he was about to get dropped, now looks to be a bit more comfortable. So he's obviously going through a little bit of a bad patch. Sky with a lot of riders in here.
Like it levels off here a little bit. But this race finishes on a climb. There's an attack from Orica Scott. Orica Scott, I don't know who this is. Doesn't look very familiar. So he must be somebody they're sending up as a sacrifice. So 6 kilometers to go, he's attacked. Let's see how long he stays up here, because that's a suicide mission. There's too much firepower back there. You got at least 3 riders with Team Sky still left. You got Trek. So that's just a suicide mission. So he's been up front by about half a kilometer so far. And I don't know if you guys noticed, there were 3 Sky riders that moved to the front right away. They're not letting anything go. They're right around the other corner there.
And it is Carlos Verona. I thought it was one of the Spaniards who was attacking. So Verona looking good.
Carlos Verona, 32nd overall. Yeah, they reeled him back 5 kilometers. So he was off the front for 1 kilometer, which is about 6/10 of a, you know, it's not that much, not even a mile.
So the attack nullified then. Carlos Verona caught by the move.
It's just, I don't know what he was trying to prove.
Behind him, Geraint Thomas, and now Froome. So they only have 3 riders left. Behind them is Contador. Behind him is Darwin Atapuma. A few Movistar riders there. They have said they're not going to do anything.
So Sky is at the front trying to control the race.
Kind of a little bit.
Look at the cadence on Froome there. He's spinning.
Contador, Darwin Atapuma, Alejandro Valverde.
You look at his legs versus Contador. Contador has a slower rhythm. You know? You gotta know, you ride it what you ride the way that your engine prefers. Contador's in a bigger gear.
Contador out the saddle still all the time in a big gear. Adam Yates looks comfortable. Dan Martin waiting for his moment.
Now look at these boys at the back getting stressed. It's tough. They're not back there by choice. They're back there because that's all they can do right now. Because all these guys are emptying their tanks for Froome.
4 kilometers of racing to go.
I think there's a former British champion on the front there. Peter something. Peter Kennaugh.
This group.
Yeah, Peter Kennaugh, and then Geraint Thomas is behind him.
The mountains of the Tour de France, the Polish champion. So Kenya.
Yep, Kenya. Peter Kenya. He was the champion of Britain 2 years in a row.
Froome lost 12 seconds, Thomas lost 18, Kruijswijk lost 22, and that was purely on the last section of this this mountain, which is steep. About 20 riders left now. Up on the top of the world.
You guys see all the snow around there? That means it's cold also. So if when these guys are done riding, they're gonna have to bundle up because it's cold up there. 4 kilometers to go.
Champion of Poland.
I mean, when you're riding, it's fine because, you know, unless you're going downhill, there's not that much of a wind chill. When you're climbing, it's actually pretty comfortable if it's cold. Because I know most of these guys have base layers on. You can see the snow by the side there.
Getting very, very close now to the stage finish.
So there's the respite here before the final finish because they're finishing uphill.
When we get to
the finish line is actually on top of a hill, so they're going to be kicking it up that hill.
If you've just joined us, we had a 3-rider breakaway for a lot of the stage. Seri of Quick Step, Barn of Dimension Data, Rubio of Casual. They were previously with
Peter Kennaugh is still up there. He's been there for a while.
Then they left him behind. They were caught.
I think everybody's waiting for the last kilometer because it's all uphill.
About to fight it out on the climb to La Molina. Led by Pete Kenyon. Behind him, Geraint Thomas. Then it's Chris Froome. Behind him, Darwin Atapuma, Jarlinson Pantano, Alberto Contador, Alejandro Valverde. Dan Martin up here, Adam Yates, Roman Bardet. It's going to be showdown time very soon. I think Froome has asked Pete Kenyon just to give as much as he can into the base of the next rise. And that is where this race is going to get ignited over the grid. Everyone is safely over there. It's almost going to be a sprint to the top of this mountain. 2 kilometers of racing to go. Geraint Thomas now unleashes a big attack with Pete Kenyon. Contador goes with them. Froome is unable to respond to this move. And it's Kenyon and Thomas who are winding this one up now. Thomas looks around, doesn't continue with the attack. Froome has disappeared a little bit under the pressure of Pete Kenyon. And now we see the massive.
And here comes the fireworks. Now watch. They're not going to be massive fireworks. They're just going to be accelerations. And the guys will look around. Just watch. So he went a little bit. Now you see? Because it's a long climb. If you do too much here, it's hard to recover. So he's coasting at the sea. Because when people are tired, just a little acceleration can cause them to blow. So they're trying to just break up rhythms here. Geraint Thomas pulls off to the side there. Nobody wants to commit to any kind of effort right now because the last hill is where it matters.
Immediate reaction, it comes from Stephen Kruijswijk, I think, from
Stephen Kruijswijk was the guy who was leading the Giro last year and crashed, and before Nibali was able to win. And that's my issue with Nibali. He's never won anything against the big boys. He only wins when they're not there. So yeah, I don't know.
Geraint Thomas looks like he doesn't want to go too early, and now it's playing back into the hands of Froome, who's recovered and got himself back into the wheels. We're only a few hundred meters now from the finishing line. Over 5 hours of racing gone.
It's on now.
Suffering just a little bit.
Contador tucked in nicely there. Looks like Valverde is on his wheel. So Movistar is setting this up for Valverde. That's what it looks like. Because Valverde has a good turn of power on an uphill sprint.
Justin thinks Team Sky are still going to take this one today. Hendrik Lemmer thinks
Boys dancing on the pedals.
Adam Yates is looking very strong on the left-hand
There's
side.
Dan Martin on the left.
Also here. Valverde just looking for the right wheel. Roman Bardet, Geraint Thomas is.
Dan Martin's pretty strong. He's coming up.
Goes Adam Yates of Orica Scott, deciding to go very, very early.
Yeah, that's too early.
This is exactly where he attacked last year.
There's Dan Martin coming. And Valverde is on its wheel. Valverde marked the right person because Dan Martin is strong.
Almost lives here. He lives in Andorra, not too far away. Valverde looks like
they got a bit of a gap there.
A big thumping victory here.
The finish is coming right around this turn. Valverde kicks.
Dan Martin going for the finishing line. Valverde's going to say.
Valverde got a good turn of power. He's won Flèche Wallonne in all those tough races. So.
Dan Martin, Adam Yates, Roman Bardet, Geraint Thomas, Alberto Contador, TJ Van Garderen. Chris Froome loses a few seconds on the day. Rafael Majka is also up here.
That was a hard race.
Well, what a victory there. Stephen Kruijswijk crosses the line, loses 22 seconds on the day. Valverde gives Movistar back their morale. He just waited and waited. They did say, we might be in the race, but we won't be there. We'll wait. La Molina has given Movistar their victory that they didn't.
It is cold up there. So Alejandro Valverde wins the stage. That is cool.
Seconds back, Adam Yates, Bardet, Zakharin, Thomas, Contador, and Van Garderen. And then ninth place.
Ilnur Zakharin in 5th place. Crashes a lot. If he can stay upright, he might do well.
4 times a winner of Flèche, 3 Liège-Bastogne,
La Molina.
stages of the Vuelta a España as well as the.
You see, he's wearing long sleeves. He's probably got on tights. I think he does have on tights. It's cold up there. The guy next to him wearing a jacket. It's cold. Looks like a ski resort or somewhere that ended this stage. Yep, everybody dressed warm. It's cold up there.
l'Ajuntament d'Alps per fer lliurament del trofeu Ajuntament d'Alps a Alejandro Valverde, vencedor d'aquesta tercera etapa, que rep l'aplaudiment de l'afició a la Molina.
Alejandro Valverde takes the trophy for today's stage.
TJ is still the leader in the overall now. Actually, TJ took over from his teammate, so that's good. They're still with BMC. So TJ gets the jersey here of the race leader. But Ben Herman's probably is not a climber. I'm not familiar with Ben Herman. So they got to defend the jersey. It's a 1 week stage race. They should be able to do that. Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stage 4 will be coming up soon.